Hazard Pay, that $10,000 that could land in your bank account, is back on. The full $10,000. And I don't mean watered down $10,000. And $50,000 grant? Yes. $10,000 grant? Yes. And how about existing grants? Oh, they're out there? Yes. Not grants from 5 months from now, or 5 weeks from now, or 5 days from now. Grants that are there right now. In this video, I'll be going over all that and more. It's a great Saturday afternoon, and this is Purple. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon. I hope you're good and safe. Hope you're having a great Saturday afternoon, whatever you're doing, watching the Masters or watching college football or just relaxing and enjoying the Saturday relaxation. It's a little bit warmer today. It's quite nice here, but I expect to be cold here in California as well. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do go to the channel, subscribe, because boy, we're adding about 1,000 new subscribers a day. We're on fire because no one is delivering you breaking news by the minute about every development that's occurring, and there's literally a lot of stuff hitting by the minute. Also, like this video, and you're doing a great job about 5,000 likes a video helps the video appear higher in the rankings before other videos will tell you how UFOs stole your stimulus. In this video, I'll be going over second stimulus, third stimulus, hazard pay, EIDL grants, $50,000 grant, $10,000 grant, and how to get that grant money from cities and counties that's already there. I'll be going over money that's available right now, available that could be available in a few days, and money that could be available to you shortly thereafter. All incredible great news. And let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that there is a lot of money out there for you to get right now. There's a lot of money planned for you to get right very, very quickly and quite soon. And then there's other money that you could get shortly thereafter. The longest time frame entity of the amounts that I talked about is hazard pay. That is a whole application process. The quickest one, that's the longest one out. The quickest one is the existing CARES Act 1 money that's out there, that's available for you to go get if you have not gotten it. On a daily basis, cities and counties across the country announce, hey, we got a new grant program, come and get it. It's grants for rent, for food, for hazard pay, for stimulus checks. It's available from your city and available from your county, depending on where you live. They're being announced across the country now. Why now? Well, the issue is that cities and counties were given money under CARES Act 1 and took a while to disperse it. It was initially given to the states, and then the states had to give it to the cities. But there's a problem. The problem doesn't concern you. The problem concerns them. They didn't use it, and now they have to use it or lose it. And so they're announcing programs by the day and by the hour. For example, in Los Angeles, I announced, I think 2 days ago, one of the utility companies that services most of the utility users in Los Angeles is announcing a new grant program. And it just went live, and it's only for 2 weeks. It's DWP. What's important to understand is that this is November, and you would assume that CARES Act 1 money from March would have been spent up. Oh no, it has not been spent out. So please go get that money. The way you find that money is you go on Google News and look for Grants Plus, City or County, your city or county, plus CARES Act, and see if there's any stories, any news stories, not search results, but news stories. And there are none, just check back the next day. If you need help finding news stories like that, look for a Purple Power delegate on social media that might help you. That's like if you're in California, hashtag Purple Power, hashtag PCA space hashtag LLA. Again, hashtag PCA space hashtag LLA. If you're in Georgia, hashtag PGA, yes, like golf, space, hashtag LLA. It's the letter P followed by the two letters of your state. Ultimately, if you don't find a delegate like that, you may find a delegate in another city. These are just people who volunteer their services and help you find things that they're good with the computer. That money is there now. Next, EIDL. Boy, EIDL is available right now. And I had someone on Twitter earlier today, about an hour ago, send me a very nice tweet. Said, thank you, LLite. I did not know to go get this EIDL. I also had someone on Facebook send me a DM, I guess you call it a DM, a private message about 20 minutes ago, said, LLite, thank you. I watched your video about a week ago telling me to go get EIDL. I got it and I got $6,000. Thank you. The person on Twitter about an hour ago said he was an Uber or Lyft driver that, or maybe it was, I think it was Uber, Lyft, or Airbnb, Airbnb operator, said he made $8,000 last year from it. I want to go get an EIDL. Let me do the math for you right now about how much you would get if you are that person. If you made $8,000 from Airbnb in 2019, and declared it on your 2019 tax return, then, and your cost to do that, which is cost of goods sold or cost of services sold, which is line 2, you would get $4,000 in your bank account. $4,000 for $8,000 worth of income. Isn't that incredible? Who would not want that? This is why you want to do EIDL. How do you do it? You go to SBA.gov, and look for economic injury disaster. Go and apply, and within about 7 days, if you do it very simple, you will get the money in your bank account electronically. It's as simple as this. Let me answer some of the questions I often get about EIDL. And remember, I'm the EIDL kid. I did hundreds of videos about this and got people $10 to $25 million because of it, and saved their businesses, saved their homes, saved their individuals. I got people money literally sometimes in 24 hours, that fast. Let me explain to you the reasons why you should do it. 1, the money is there very quickly, within just a few days. 2nd, the money is free money for the first year. Why would you not want free money? It has no repayment for the first 12 months. Guess what? This is November. Guess what next November is? We're out of the pandemic. There's no pandemic next November. So you don't have to worry about the pandemic a year from now. 3rd, if you have a problem concerning repaying $4,000 starting after next year, you shouldn't. You know why? Because you have 30 years to pay $4,000 back. 30 years. You know how much that is? It's like $10 a year. You can afford $10 a year, not starting now, not starting next year, but the year after. It's so simple. If you had $4,000 in your bank account, would you say no? Of course not. So go get it. Next. EIDL grant, $10,000. Lifeline grant, $50,000. The CDC grant. What are all these grants, LLA? Let me explain. Under the Biden plan, there are several provisions that would survive with Mitch, and then there's several provisions that would get modified with Mitch. Let me explain what's going on. First, Biden wants an EIDL grant to come back. Guess who also wants that? All Republicans. So you're going to get another round of EIDL grants. That's incredible, great news. That's free money. That's a grant. Next, Biden wants a Lifeline grant of $50,000. Coming back with Republicans? No. Republicans are not going to give anyone $50,000. They just don't like that number. But let me explain where the $50,000 would come from, and let me explain to you where where hazard pay would come from. On January 5th, a runoff race in Georgia for 2 Senate seats, which I've discussed on this channel, will decide if the Senate goes Democrat. If both seats are won by Democratic contenders, then the Senate would be Democrat, and everything that Joe Biden wants to give you would be given to you. By then, you'd be saying, well, I can't wait to January 5th. You don't have to wait to January 5th. You get the stuff I just told you that's available now. You get the stuff that's available now, the EIDL, the $4,000, $5,000. You go get that now. You get the CARES Act 1 money for grant, for rent, for food. People say, I'm on SSDI, I don't qualify for anything. Of course you qualify. You qualify for rent and food. Go get it. Go get these things now. Then, once you get those things now, then in the next few weeks, then you could get the following. A $10,000 EIDL grant. Not just a new one, but also the one from before. What? SBA's Administrator Javier Carranzo will be gone in January. She's a Trump appointee. She's a Republican, and she's not going to be in the Biden administration. He's going to appoint someone new who will pay the remainder of the $10,000 grant, because that has been written to Javita for upwards of 7 months by every Democrat in Congress. So you're going to get the remainder of the $10,000 grant. Yes. Then you're going to get a new EIDL grant, potentially, because they want to do another round of EIDL grants. Wow. Then you could get a Lifeline grant. The Lifeline grant is $50,000. There are catches to it, but it's absolutely incredible. Then you could also get hazard pay and the CDC grant. The CDC grant is for frontline workers. Little is known about it, is mentioned in the bill, but it's not explained how big it is, how you apply for it, and all that type of stuff, which gets us to the hazard pay. Hazard pay would be given to you by Mitch, but the problem is Mitch would never give anyone $10,000. Not going to happen. Joe Biden, sure, you could get the $10,000. So what do you have to do about that? You've been very, very, very good with this. You've been on social media. I've seen your tweets. You've been tagging me. Keep it up. The message you're trying to get out very loud and clear is don't have the employer apply for my hazard pay for me. I need to apply for my hazard pay, because ultimately the employer may not apply for my hazard pay. It's a bad provision. Imagine a bill that says you can have $10,000, but only if someone else applies for you, if they feel in the mood to do it. And the person who's going to apply for you is the person who fired you, or the person who laid you off, or the person whose business went bankrupt. Excuse me? It doesn't make any sense. In that Marco Rubio video that surfaced yesterday, in which he pleads for another round of PPP, like we need another round of PPP, he says business is going to shut down. Well, guess what? If business is shut down, who's going to apply for the hazard pay for you? No one. You have to have the right to apply for the hazard pay, and it must pass through you. If you have timesheets, you can submit your timesheets for the application. Why does the employer have to apply? Doesn't make sense. Not have to apply, may apply. And so how does that work? $13 an hour since the beginning of the pandemic, January 2020, not 2021, 2020, all the way up to the present, times $13 an hour, based upon the number of hours you worked, part-time, full-time, overtime, all your moolah. And then you times that by $13 an hour. What do you get? If you get $12,000, well, then you get $10,000 because it has a ceiling of 10. If you get $7,000, then you get a lump sum of $7,000, and then they would start to pay you $13 an hour going forward for all hours you work. What if you work 2 essential jobs? Yes. If you're wondering what are the essential jobs, then tune into the most fun time of everyone's evenings, which is, that's a little bit gloating, but modesty's a virtue. Please tune in to Purple Power Live every day here at about 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, in which we talk about hazard pay every single night and essential workers. A lot of essential workers in that chat. I do about 30,000 people in the room every night. So please join me for that. So imagine you're sitting back and you thought, there's no money for me. There's nothing available for me. There's a lot of money available for you. There's EIDL right now. There's CARES Act 1 money available for you right now. It qualifies if you're SSDI, SSI, Social Security benefits. It qualifies if you're a small business owner. It qualifies if you're a gig worker. A lot of relief that's out there right now. You don't have to wait on Congress to go get that money. Then, when you get that money, then you can get ready for next round of money that's going to come shortly thereafter. And this is what's categorically incredible. People keep on saying when. It's now. I don't know how many more times I can say it. Ultimately, I always have legit laugh when someone says, can you explain it again? Because I didn't get it the first time. Okay, I'll explain it again. Then someone says, you just repeated yourself. It's no winning. There's no winning. Can you repeat yourself? Yeah. Oh, now I didn't get it. Can you say it again? Why does he repeat himself? Because when you asked me to explain it again. Go get that moolah. It's there. And just go get it before Sirloin takes it. We're going to have a great weekend. We really are. And thank you for joining me on early mornings, and holiday LLA. Today was a lot of fun. Coming up next is Being a Bitch. Oh, you have to tune into that. I know the show's no longer called McConnell versus Trump. That was the predecessor to that show. But you need to tune to that. You know why? Because I'm going to go over unemployment benefits and extended unemployment benefits, and I'm going to go over enhanced unemployment benefits. I'm trying to get you money right now because you're all asking, where is it now? You don't want to hear about next week. Well, I'm going to explain to you how you can get enhanced unemployment benefits now and get that money in your pocket. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and save LA for more.